Oh, maybe hopefully I still have, um, space on my computer. That would be kind of weird if I didn't, though. Yeah, I've got plenty of space. Okay. Well, let's see how it goes. Okay, so you can get a computer from the library. You can also get a computer from the Media Arts and Technology department. So if you need a computer, you can fill out this form, which is linked in that announcement email, and it's going to ask you some questions about what classes you're taking and stuff like that. There's a limited supply there, but if there's if there's something available, you'll be able to use it. So that's another option if you need some technology for the class. Um, so we are going to be using the Adobe Suite software in the class. It can be kind of hard to access it. We're going to test that today, but I have a feeling it's probably not going to work. But we'll have that set up when we need it. But you do get access to the Adobe Suite for free through the Media Arts department, but you have to be enrolled in a course. And so they have to like renew this list of people who get access to it each semester based on who's enrolled in the courses. And so that doesn't always happen by the first day. We can give it a try. So I would recommend trying this at some point. But basically, you're going to go to this website, creativecloud.adobe.com. You're going to try to sign in using your CUNY ID, which is like how you sign into CUNY First or Blackboard. It's gonna, go through this thing. That one is really buggy, so sometimes you just have to do it more than once to get it to work. Once you sign up, you're gonna create a different login, which you can use anything you want for that. You don't have to use your CUNY. You can use like a different email or you can use whatever you want. Um, I think. I'm pretty sure, but anyway, once you get that app, you'll be able to download. So you have to get this CUNY, you have to get this Creative Cloud app first, and then using the app on your computer, you can download the other software like Photoshop or Illustrator or After Effects, or if you want to try something else out, you can use something else. Um, there's a couple other things for support, but those are the basic instructions. So you can try that at some point, and we'll do that in a second, and you guys can let me know if it works. I have a feeling it won't work today, but it'll definitely work within the next couple weeks. Yeah, it's up to you. I would I think it depends a little bit on what system or situation you have technology wise. If you're on a desktop on your computer. Okay. But yeah, it may be different for different people. So if you're on a computer at your home that you use and nobody else uses it and you always have access to it, I would just save it on your computer. You don't need to put it in the cloud if you don't want to, because the thing is, you're probably going to lose access to that cloud account. Maybe not, you'll have access to it throughout the semester, but if you graduate or if you stop taking multimedia classes, you're going to lose access to that. So if you forget the files on there, you're not gonna be able to use them. So I would recommend if you have your own computer, just save it on the computer. If you're using a computer in the lab at BMCC, or if you're using, your family computer or your friend's computer or something like that, maybe then you want to save it in the cloud. That way you can get it on a different computer later. Just keep in mind that that cloud account is going to go away at some point. Um, could you list out all the okay, Wally asks, could you list out all the apps we need? So we're gonna use a lot of apps in this class. And we're just gonna go one by one. I can list them out now. It's Adobe Photoshop we're gonna start with. That you need the account for. Audacity, we need is a free program. You can just download and use it. We're gonna use Adobe Illustrator, same deal there. Adobe After Effects, same deal there. We are going to use some software online that you don't have to download. So That's actually basically it as far as the software we're probably going to use. I might change things a little bit, but those are the main programs that we're going to use. And I'll go over it, each time. The laptop I'm using is Chrome. So a Chromebook is not going to work for any of the Adobe products. So if you're using a Chromebook, that's fine for like attending class, but you're not going to be able to use that to do Adobe stuff. So you're going to need to either come to school and use a computer at school, or get access to a regular computer. So yeah, again, if you're using a Chromebook or even if you're using like an iPad or something like that, you're gonna need a regular Mac or PC computer. So again, I would look at the resources that I showed earlier, the MEA technology form, the library, or the computer labs. Um, okay, so we'll do the Adobe thing in a second. I want to just keep going over Blackboard for a minute, and then we'll do the Adobe thing. So that was the announcements. I probably will use the announcements from time to time, if there's something that I want to make sure everybody sees. But most of the time, I'm just going to be posting stuff on Discord. So you really need to be looking at Discord, pretty frequently to see updates on there. Um, So then in the info section, this is where I have links to the various sites that we're going to use. And there's really just a couple here. So there's the link to the Discord, which is where we are now. Then there's a link to the site called the Open Lab. Um, oh, whoops, this is the wrong link. Let's edit that. This is from last year. I thought I updated this. Maybe I just updated this one. Oops. Yeah, I just updated the other one. Okay. Anyway, this is our Open Lab page here. And so this is where all the class materials are going to be hosted, and it's also where you're going to post your homework. So everybody's going to be able to create an account on this website, and it's a WordPress website. So I'll teach you guys how to use. It's basically just a blog. I'll teach you guys how to make posts on the blog. We're not going to have to do that for a little while, but we're going to do that soon. But it also has all of the content. So for these are all the topics that we're covering in the course over here. The first one is digital imaging. We're covering audio, animation, web development, and programming. And so we're going to spend we have 15 weeks for the semester. We're just going to spend like 2 or 3 weeks on each one of these things. So it is a very brief introduction to these 5 different components of multimedia. Um, so for example, we're going to start with digital imaging. Um, are you seeing like a grid of everybody, or are you seeing just the stream? Can you click on the box of the stream so that it goes into full screen? Okay. I can try to increase the size, but we're not really, you don't have to worry about like the all of the content right now. I'm just kind of going over, um, you know, where things are. Okay. So let me increase the size a little bit. Okay, good. So yeah, this is digital imaging is our first unit. We're going to be using Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator to create a self-portrait project. And so yeah, basically we'll be posting them on this blog. There's another link on Blackboard. So let me make this a little bigger. So this first link is to go to the Open Lab site. The second link is to join the Open Lab. So if you click on here, it's going to take you to the page here. And if you've never used the Open Lab before, you're not going to see this. What you're going to see, uh, or you are going to see this, but you won't be logged in. So what you're going to want to do is click sign up here, and then sign up for the Open Lab. And then eventually, once you do the whole sign up process, you need to use your BMCC email and password for that. Don't worry about it right now. We'll do it together a little bit later. But if you want to do it, you can get started with that. But once you sign up, it's going to add you to the blog, so you'll be able to post on the blog. Again, we're going to go over that together in a later class, so don't worry about doing that necessarily right now. But once you do that, so I obviously am already signed up. I'm going to log in. So this is just my BMCC email and my BMCC email password. So that's different from the CUNY first one, which is the one you have to use for the Adobe products. Anyway, once you sign up, you're going to see something that looks like this, but mine says clone because it's my class. I created it, but yours is going to say join. And when you click join there, it's going to add you to the members down here. Again, we'll do that later. So if you want to do that now, you can start on that, but we'll do that as a class a little bit later. So those are all the links here. That's really all you need for those. Those are kind of the main things that you need to know about for the class. The next thing in Blackboard is the assignments. So there's 5 assignments. There's the self-portrait, the audio assignment, animation assignment, the website assignment, and the programming assignment. These all have due dates on them. They're probably going to change because, sometimes things take longer, take more or less time during the semester. So the due dates are a little bit like a guess right now. So they'll be due sometime around what it says, but they're not going to be exactly right. So we're going to have to adjust those when we get closer. But if you look at my grades, it also shows you each one of the assignments and the due date. So our first assignment, the self-portrait, is due February 23rd. That's not for a little while, and we have a few things to learn before we can do that. So that'll be our first one. Then we have another one, March 14th, April 3rd, April 25th, May 17th. Again, these are kind of guesses, so we'll see how the semester goes. That's pretty much it as far as what you need to do on Blackboard. The assignments do have rubrics. So when you go to turn in an assignment, there's going to be a button here that says View Rubric. This will show you everything that you need to do for the assignment. So if I click on this, it's going to go to a new window, and you can see all the different components of the assignment and then how many points they're worth. And so that makes it a lot easier for you to know what you need to do for the assignment. You should always look at the rubric before you submit it. And then it also gives me a good way to give you feedback. So if you turn in an assignment and it's missing something, I'll just go in and say, like, I'll put a comment on that specific section in the rubric that says this is wrong, or you missed this part, or whatever. And for my class, you can always redo the assignment. So after you turn it in the first time, if you, let's say you did this self-portrait assignment and you got an 80 and you missed, a couple things in these sections, you can redo it, and I'll regrade it as though you just submitted it again. So you can always redo your assignments if you want to increase the grade that you got. I don't know, it may be different from other classes, so it may be unusual. But I think with what we do in here is project-based learning. It's not taking a test, it's not memorizing facts. So I'm not really worried about the time as much as I am you guys getting it done. So since we're doing these projects, you may do a lot of cool work, but you might have missed one thing, or, gotten one thing off. I want you to be able to go back and redo it so you can learn from what you missed. So you can always redo the assignments, as many times as you want to get the grade up, or to work out whatever it is you're trying to figure out. So just keep that in mind for when you get assignment feedback. I'll always give you feedback on the assignment to say which parts you missed, so you'll be able to redo it. Okay, so that's the assignments. Okay, so we're almost ready at this point. We've kind of gone over the basics. We can start to actually get into some content. I want to just take a few minutes and just see if you guys can access the Adobe software. That'll give me that way I'll know if I need to like figure that out, or if we have issues with that. So If you're not like on a desktop or laptop computer, you're probably not going to be able to do this. So some of you guys may not be able to do this right now. You should try to do it later just to see if it works. But let's just take a few minutes and try to get Adobe access. So I'm going to send you guys. I'm going to put this link to these instructions into the voice chat, and we'll just take a few minutes. Basically, what you want to try to do is just follow those instructions and download the Adobe Creative Cloud software on your computer and be able to open up Photoshop. That's the goal. The process is, if you have trouble with the process, let me know and we can take a look at it together. There is a chance, as I mentioned, that this just isn't even set up yet. And so that's something that we want to figure out if that's the case. So let's just do that now. I'm going to stop recording.